What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Orange Crush Pod, man. I'm your host, JMX, my other host, Trav. Oh, man, we got some news. You know what I'm saying? Broncos country, we got some news, man. Training camp officially began. How many days ago the training camp started? About a week, right?
Yeah, I think they've had pads for 2 days on. So
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, man, there's been a lot of stuff coming out of the Broncos camp with some news, man. But before we jump into everything, Trav, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Ready for the season.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I ain't gonna lie. The season right around the corner. It's just crazy. Well, we get football this week in 2 days. So
Yeah, but that ain't saying much, bro. We get to watch Trey Lance play football.
I
I'm not
mean, bro,
excited at
football
all,
is.
bro.
Hey, man, NFL is NFL at the end of
I'd
the
rather
day.
watch Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, man. Nah, I feel you. I would rather watch Broncos football too. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but hey, man, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Got some news. Was that yesterday? Courtland Sutton has officially been extended. So look, man, all of y'all who watch the show and everything, who know me and Trav, y'all know how me and Trav, a lot of our back and forths are based on Courtland Sutton. I got a lot of DMs specifically yesterday. People, asking me how I felt about it. A lot of people call me a Courtland Sutton hater. I'm not a hater of this man, bro. I genuinely want to see this dude succeed. You know what I'm saying? But I just got to keep it real sometimes. But Courtland Sutton got extended a 4-year, $92 million contract extension yesterday. He gets $41 million guaranteed, but that guaranteed money does include his salary for this season, which I think was like 16 million. No, I'm looking at him right now. So 13.5 million he gets. His whole salary this year is guaranteed. Um, but yeah, the Broncos are gonna probably pay him somewhere around $23 million a year over the next 4 seasons, starting in 2026. Excuse me. So it looks like Courtland Sutton is gonna be a Bronco possibly for the rest of his career. I'm gonna let Trav go, and then I'll give my thoughts on the contract. But Trav, how you feeling about it?
I did make a video about this. I don't think this was a feel good move, like a lot of people want it to be. I think this is a move of consistency, and I think when we look at what Courtland Sutton does for the Denver Broncos offense, if you take him out of the picture, your run game is going to take a hit. Your receiving core is going to take a hit. He opens up the field a lot for the entire team, and the contract. I mean, people think that it might be an overpay. I think 23 mil for 4 years, and you're only getting 27 mil guaranteed on the new contract extension. I think that's a steal for a guy that is going to give you consistency, and I think he is Denver's best weapon. And I think nobody could argue that if you take him off this team would be better. It definitely would make the offense worse.
Yeah, I agree with mostly everything of what you said. My thoughts on the contract was, I do think Courtland Sutton deserved to get paid. I'm not going to be one of those people be like, man, he shouldn't be getting paid or anything like that. Now, he definitely should have got paid. It's just, just me personally. Um, Trav know how I feel about the whole $23 million a year thing. Now, Canada, the Broncos did make you they did make it like you said, team friendly. They definitely went out there, and the contract isn't that bad. But it's just like, I know how the Broncos are gonna do it. They're gonna honor this contract unless Sutton just completely falls off a cliff and it's just obviously is not the same player in a year or two. But I think, he's gonna be solid, I will say, for the majority of the contract. I think maybe after year two of the contract, you know, we're probably going to see how we want to move forward with it if we want to keep him. But I mean, for as far as market value, you still got him kind of around that. I mean, he's getting paid more than Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams. I mean, that is what it is. Those guys are kind of on the older side of things. So I can kind of see why you gave it to him. Just me personally, I don't know if I would have been like $23 million a year for him. But that's just me though. Like, I definitely think he deserves it. I'm not gonna say the man don't deserve his money. He deserves his money. I just don't think I just hope he doesn't come back to bite us. But I mean, hey man, the Broncos, hey, look, we got new ownership, we got Broncos money, so we got a few extra million to, throw around and stuff like that. But we gonna see, man. I just hope, Courtland Sutton, he's been looking really good in camp. I will say that he's been looking really good in camp. Hopefully we can see I won't say a more consistent Courtland Sutton this year. Maybe we get a little bit less drops. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, coming out to start the season, he shows up. But that's pretty much how I feel about the contract. I don't want to just go and hate, like I say, hate on the man. But I'm gonna just be real. I'm just not just. I just feel like seeing $92 million was a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Courtland Sutton almost being $100 million, like an $100 million receiver. Man, that's crazy, bro. I'm sorry. It is a little crazy, Trav.
I
And
mean, it's crazy to look at it, and I will agree that the 92 million at glance is like, man, that's crazy. But if you think of it in the totality, he's the 18th highest paid receiver. He's probably the 18th best receiver in the league, somewhere around there. So I feel like the value is there, and I mean, a lot of people won't bring it up as like he was one of the best receivers on third down in the NFL last year, and people bring up the fact of he is reliable. He's a red zone threat. One of the best contested catchers in the league. He's up there. I would say he's a top 5 contested catcher in the league.
I say
Um,
top three.
I just think that the value and I think you have to pay him. Like after what he's done, and I know we're going to say, oh, he's only had 2 really good seasons. But we got to also factor in the fact that he's been playing with bums the majority of his career, and there's not been, I mean, a time in his tenure where we've really heard him say like, I don't want to be here. Um, he wants to be here, and I think the market's the market. I think when we see Terry McLaurin get 35, 33 a year, and I know he's a better receiver. I'm not disagreeing, but they've both kind of been in the same boat of bad QB play, and they've stuck it out with the team that they've been on. And if Terry's getting 35 for 4 years and he's getting 60 of it guaranteed, I would much rather have 42 guaranteed than 60. That's just my take on it.
I mean, I don't think the Terry McLaurin market was gonna affect Courtland Sutton that much, just because the fact he's a better receiver. So whatever he gets, I think it would have been fine. I mean, Courtland Sutton. I mean,
Courtland
I
could have
don't.
milked. He could have milked it. Though. Think about it. If Terry got paid before Courtland, and you're kind of seeing it now because Courtland didn't set out a training camp and he still got his money. Now Terry McLaurin's gone back to training camp. Trey Hendrickson. They're seeing that you ain't got to set out and lose money to make money. So I think if you don't pay Sutton and say Terry McLaurin gets top dollar money, yeah, Courtland's of course not going to get what Terry's going to get, but he's going to juice you for 10 more million, and 10 million is 10 million. He's gonna want a little more because what Terry
I
just got
don't.
paid. The market's the market. So that's the thing. Is he the same receiver as Terry? No, but I think if McLaurin gets paid first, then Courtland can push for more than what we gave him now because the market will be higher at that point. It's kind of the thing we're seeing with Nick Benito is if you paid Nick Benito before T.J. Watt, you get him for cheaper. Now he like Nick Benito said, it's in his favor. The edge market's at an all-time high.
No, 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 no. I agree with that. No, no, I feel you, but I think Courtland Sutton, just being the receiver he is, I don't think it would have like. I mean, it definitely would have. He probably would have got a little bit more, but I mean, I ain't gonna lie. 23 million a year is boy. I mean, okay, like the thing is, I mean, he probably was looking at Godwin. Godwin got 22, and he's like, can kind of relate to that just a little bit. So I see, stuck it out with the franchise. You know what I'm saying? But
And Godwin's supposedly been hurt in camp, and like he just got paid the bag.
yeah, but that was in the offseason. I don't know. See, just me personally, I just feel like I don't want to be in a position where we miss out on a guy because we paid Courtland Sutton like all this money.
So I agree with you, but you know who we're going to miss out on?
Or okay, look, hold on. My fault to let you go. I ain't gonna say miss out on a player, but like maybe not extend certain players not be able to pay certain people on the team because we threw this money at Courtland Sutton. Like I'm not mad at them for paying Courtland. I would have definitely handled like Benito, Zach Allen in first though. But I mean, I get it though. Courtland has been here for a while. He's been here for longer. He's been needing a contract longer. But yeah,
I agree, but I think when we talk about those two guys being paid and why it's taking longer is because they're getting ready to get huge deals. Like we're talking, Nick Benito's going to get paid. Like same with Zach Allen. I think I seen him on Twitter today. And then I seen a report came out that Denver is in no talks with extending John Franklin Myers. Um,
yeah, I seen that.
and I like John Franklin. I think he's a good player, and I think that he's a great asset to this team. But I think that all the complaining that we see on Twitter about him calling himself undervalued, underpaid, I think the organization looks at that, and I think that Sean Payton. I don't think that you can bitch your way into a contract. Like, with all due respect, like I think he should get paid, but like you shouldn't take it to Twitter and complain every opportunity you get.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's complaining. I think it would just be kind of more like advocating for himself because I think complaining would have been like I'm sitting out like like I think complaining would have been bashing the organization on Twitter and stuff like that. That's kind of how I view it. I mean, he hasn't really been paid yet in his career. He I ain't gonna give him his credit. He's worked his ass off from being like a bottom feeder to where he is now. So he definitely deserves to get paid. And I definitely hope that it's where the team that pays him. But I mean, I kind of feel him a little bit though. It's just like he in the best situation he's been in his career, and he wants to stay, and he's just trying to vocalize like, I am a little undervalued right now because I mean, somebody got to say it for him. I mean, I
I
feel him on
agree.
that part.
I agree in an aspect, but it's
I'm just
like,
saying
how much are
it
you
could be
going to do it?
worse.
How much are you going to do that in an off season? Like, I agree that he's underrated.
He ain't been paid,
Do
man.
I think he's undervalued? Do I think Denver don't value him? I don't. I don't agree with that.
I think like okay, I will say I think what he meant by undervalued. I don't think that was like in terms of like the team doesn't value him. I think he means in terms of like the money wise, because at the end of the day, money talks. How much you get paid talks. Like for example, Trevor Lawrence can never say he's undervalued because they made him at one point the highest paid quarterback in the history of the league. Like organization is going to value you based on how much you pay. So that's what he means. I don't think he means the Broncos are treating him any type of way. I think he's just like, bro, like I'm undervalued money wise. Like, I mean, he's the 17th highest paid player on the team. But I will say, like, he definitely deserves a contract. But I will say, it's looking like the Broncos, I think, will like sign him back though. I think it maybe after this season, but I definitely think the Broncos are going to pay him.
And don't get it twisted. Just because I say like he bitches on Twitter sometimes, don't mean I don't like him. I'm a big fan of his. I love him as a player. I do think he's underrated. And I do think that he should get paid. I
Yeah,
just feel like
I think 7 million is a little low for him.
on Twitter, like I just feel like it could be, just wait until you get paid. I just don't think that taking it to Twitter and it's almost like it's a weekly thing, man. And that's the thing. Like I think he's a hell of a player, and I want him to be on the team. But I don't know. It depends. What if the dude that got caught gambling breaks out on the D line?
Talking about Wazarike?
Yeah, I mean Sean Payton says this is his year that he needs to make an impact. And as a prospect, he was supposed to be that guy.
I'm not I'm gonna just bank. I'm not going. I Me personally, I mean, he's kind of had some chances. I just think he's kind of buried on the depth chart a little bit. I mean, obviously Sean's gonna say that because isn't this the last year his rookie deal?
I think so. I think so actually.
I mean, yeah, like I don't know, man. No. He has
No,
one
he's only
more
been
year after this.
yeah. I think he has one more year on his deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Trav. I don't think he's gonna be like. I mean, look, I ain't gonna lie. I would like him to be great, but I mean, just based on what I've seen, I just don't see like him just coming in and being crazy. I don't see it compared to JFM. I mean, because I will say I don't know what JFM market value is right now. I actually don't know what it is. I just had him up. Let me see if they got his market value on what it is. Um, it's around 8.5. I think it's more than that though. I think you could probably give him between 9 and 10,
I would be cool if you give JFM
like
10.
9.5 or 10
I'd
10 million a year.
I'd be cool with 10 for 2 3 years, something like that.
Yeah, I feel like a 3 year, $30 million extension ain't bad. I mean, cause you got to think about like what he's giving you. You know what I'm saying? Like he really is a impact
He's a
player.
huge asset. Yeah, and that's the
Yeah, no,
thing.
like
Like I,
he's a huge part of that defensive line because he can do a lot of different things, bro.
I just think that you know we've seen. I mean, dude, it feels like all off season, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. It just seems like He's on that keyboard hard, man. Just
Nah, but yeah, no. He most definitely is. But like, I feel him though, because
like
I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to think what I would. I'm not saying I would do that, but like, I definitely feel him though. Like, bro, he been in the league since 2018 and he ain't really got a bag yet. I mean, like I'm saying, he hasn't had a payday. Like he's gotten the Jets signed him to that extension, and I'm not mistaken. Didn't the Broncos give him an extension when he first got here?
uh, don't remember to be exact. To be honest.
I think we did, because let me see. Yeah, he signed a 2-year, $15 million contract extension with the Broncos. Yeah, I think that was when we traded for him. I mean, I feel him though. I mean, oh, okay, wait, no, I didn't even know he got paid from the Jets.
The thing is, and here's kind
Oh,
of
okay, well, no, okay, well, no, yeah, I definitely feel you a little bit more now. I didn't know he got a 4-year, 55 with the Jets.
like I think that he is a talented player, but I also think that he has to realize that for the guys that
I
need
feel
to be
you.
paid, he's not the priority, and that's the sad reality is the priority is now at this point is Zach Allen and Nick Benito. I think if John Franklin gets paid, it's going to be like DJ Jones. It's going to be the day before he's available. He gets paid. And that might sound bad, but I don't see him getting paid before the new season starts. I don't see it.
No. I definitely don't think that. I mean, I definitely think it's gonna be like I think I said this a while back too. Same thing you said. I think it'll be like a DJ Jones type thing where they pay him either midway through the season. It'll just be like randomly, like oh shit, the Broncos just extended JFM good. But I definitely think before the season starts, we're probably gonna get Zach Allen and Nick Benito, and they're gonna be big deals. See, the Nick Benito one is gonna be crazy. We need to pay him like because I remember you were saying too that we you want to see one more year, but you got to pay him now, bro. Because you can always move on from him. Like if he, whatever the case may be, I'm paying him now, bro. Because if he goes out there and he has another what? How many sacks he had last year? 15.
Yeah.
Bro, if he has another 15 sack season, and he's 26, 27, nah, you got to pay. Now you got to pay him the house. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'd rather pay him half of the house than the entire house. Like before I know the jury, like I'm gonna pay him now, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I mean, because I'm looking at it right now, his market value is at 23.6 million. So that's like, and to be honest, I think that's lower than what he's probably gonna get more than that though, because Bradley Chubb is at 22, and Josh Allen and Brian Burns are both at 28. Um, yeah, he's probably gonna get like 27. That's probably what he's gonna get is like 27 million. But they're talking about like Spot Track is saying 4 year, $94 million with 23 point like almost 23.6 a year. I don't think he's gonna get that. I definitely think if he's probably gonna get more. But I mean, you never know. He might take that, but I think he's gonna get more because if you're comparing him to Brian Burns, like yeah, he might want that 26, 27 a year.
I think you pay him, and people might call it an overpay now because he's only had one really good year. But I think looking a couple years down the road, we're going to be like we really kind of like with the Pat Surtain thing. I mean, looking at what Sauce Gardner's making and all the corners are making, and him being like the fifth highest paid corner, you see that Denver definitely got ahead of the game, and I think this will be one of those things as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, man. I want to talk about Zach Allen just for a little bit, and then we can get into camp. Um, Zach Allen is very interesting with him because I don't know what they're gonna like. I don't know what the like how they're gonna handle his contract. I mean, I obviously know they're gonna pay him, but like I don't know at this point because how old is he? Like he's young still though, so he probably might. I don't want to say he might get the highest contract, but he's definitely getting at least like 24 million a year. They're gonna have to overpay him just a little bit, I will say. Because I'm thinking that this way, like Rashad Gary, didn't he just get paid? I feel like he got 96, he got 24 million a year. Like Leonard Williams is at 21.5. Yeah, Zach's probably gonna get like 24, 25 million. I think those two guys you're gonna have to maybe pay them a little bit over what the market is. I'm not saying they're gonna reset the market with them, obviously not, but it's definitely gonna be like top five at the position money.
if you don't pay Zach Allen, somebody else will, and they'll pay him what he
They're
wants.
gonna yeah no they're gonna
So
break the market.
so it's like you got to. I mean, when we talk about his value as an interior D lineman, I mean he's one of the best. I mean, if not the best. I mean, when we're talking about
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, his numbers are better than like everyone else's. The only thing they're saying like money wise is Max Crosby because Max Crosby got 4 years, 94 million. Damn, he might get in. Yeah, his Crosby's is 23 and a half. So Rashawn Gary got paid more than yeah. He's probably I don't know what he's gonna get. Because my thing is, yeah, Crosby got 23 and a half, but looks like the Raiders jumped the gun on that one too. So if Rashad and Gary and Montez Sweat are getting 24 million plus, and Zach Allen's probably gonna get 25.
I think
That's
so.
crazy.
Uh,
I mean, no, he definitely deserves it though.
I won't complain. I'm I want Zach Allen and Benito to get paid as well. And JFM. I don't want people to think like I'm a JFM hater because I'm a big fan of him. I think he's a really good player. I just think that he's on that keyboard a lot, man, and I'm not too big of a fan of that. I'm not gonna lie. I respect that he wants his money, but you could just be humble and wait, and you get paid. That's how I kind of see it. And like you said, he already got a payday with the Jets, and I respect anybody wanting to get paid, right? But when you're on a stacked team and you got the veteran and Sut, and you got Nick Benito and Zach Allen needing to be
Young
paid,
guys, yeah.
unfortunately, you're probably number three or number four to get paid because I mean they traded a 6 round pick for you, like you know what I mean, like and I mean if they I personally think that there's a world where if Savion Jones is as good as we expect him to be, that there's not it's not really a question of why they drafted him. They drafted him there just in case
Hmm.
because JFM is gonna want to be paid, and if you don't give him what he wants, he's probably going somewhere else.
Facts. And um, before we go into like what's been going on at camp and stuff, but yeah, man, it's just I just want to give a shout out to Courtland Sutton real quick. Yeah, I know Travis probably over there grinning like crazy right now. But he did say Courtland Sutton today when they asked him about the contract thing, he said the last thing I wanted to be was a distraction. He said I knew things were going to work out the way they were supposed to work out. And he also said we have the best fans in football. It's not cliche. I believe it wholeheartedly. Um, you know, like I said earlier, bro, I don't hate Courtland Sutton. I just got to keep it. Man, I keep it real about all the players on the team. Yeah, man, I just got to keep it real, bro. That's just my main thing when it comes to guys on the team. But like, I want to see Courtland Sutton succeed, bro. He's been on the team for a while now, bro. I mean, he like I got love for Courtland Sutton, bro. And some of y'all know that. I know some of y'all think I hate the man. I don't, bro. But I actually do want to see the dude succeed. I just got to keep it real sometimes, bro. That's just how it is. Travis the same way with some players, man. We got love for him, but at the end of the day, we want we want what's best for the Broncos, bro. We just got to keep it real. Like, we don't think a guy playing well, we gonna come on here and say that. Trav definitely has done that. Y'all know. But yeah, man, that's just kind of my whole thing on Courtland Sutton. But I just want to give a shout out to him, bro, because he could have been like Terry McLaurin right now. And I ain't saying what Terry doing is bad. I'm just saying he could have done that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a distraction, and yeah, you're right. I mean, I kind of gave PJ Locke some talk, and you know what? Looking back,
Jaquan McMillan. Yeah.
looking back, I'll apologize to PJ Locke because he played through with a very bad injury, and you know what? I'm rooting for PJ, and I think that fully healthy without the back pain, I think he could be really solid because he was solid. But Jaquan McMillan, I'm rooting.
Man, no,
I'm
bro.
I'm
You're not
I'm
finna you're not finna discredit
I'm
Jaquan McMillan.
rooting for Jaquan McMillan. I'm really curious to see though, how that's going to be with J Mac and Jade Barron, or are they going to move Moss into the nickel? I'm really curious. I'm curious to see what happens there. Essentially,
Yeah. But man, let's transition to camp, bro. Alex Singleton, let's start with him. What did he break his thumb?
yeah, he's going to miss 8 days or something. He's going to be back by the
Yeah, I
time the
think that
joint
was two.
practice.
Yeah, I think that was like 2 days ago. Reported that he got injured. He went back into the locker room, whatever, and he got a broken thumb, so he's gonna be out for a few weeks. But excuse me, it definitely sparked a lot of questions. Should the Broncos go out and sign a guy like Jawan Bentley, a guy like Kazir White? But one guy that's been on the team, he first came on as a UDFA last year. He made some big plays in the preseason. I actually wanted him to start, but they ended up cutting him, and he just made the practice squad. But he's still around. It's Levelle Bailey. Sean Payton, definitely had some great comments to say about him today. But with the injury to Singleton, that he's going to be getting extended reps. And he's looks like he's going to be mounting up in the linebacker room in terms of depth. And he's been getting some buzz at camp. Luca Evans reported that a bunch of reps today at Broncos camp for Levelle Bailey with Alex Singleton, Drew Sanders hurt. Yeah, he's got a huge opportunity over the next few days, and they said he's been making plays all throughout camp. So the Broncos could have something there with Levelle Bailey. And first of all, prayers to Drew Sanders, bro. That's just an unfortunate situation that we're gonna get to after this, Levelle Bailey stuff. But hey, man, how you feel about Levelle Bailey?
It reminds me of that preseason game against the Cardinals where he got that pick six last year, and I was kind of high on him. I was like, I can't wait to see what Levelle Bailey is, and I think he's finally going to get the chance that he deserves. I think he'll be a rotational guy with Justin Strnad backing up Singleton and Greenlaw. But I just want to say this, and a lot of people might not like this. The Denver Broncos messed up. And I'm going to say this is the only part of the defense where they messed up. They should have brought back Cody Barton. I mean, Cody Barton went to the Titans. He's picked off Cam Ward 5 times in coverage in training camp. And I personally think that you get more out of Cody Barton than you do Alex Singleton. I know everybody's going to say he's a human tackling machine. I just feel like Alex Singleton is, aging, coming off of a hard injury for a guy to come back from. I think Cody Barton was the guy they should have kept, and I think that's going to be something to look back on.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't think you're wrong at all. I just don't know if you'd have been able to pay Greenlaw, because essentially they swapped, Greenlaw for Barton. Now I don't know how that would have worked. Like maybe we would have cut Singleton, would have money to bring back Barton, but Barton got some solid bread. He got 3 year 21 over there at Tennessee. But I definitely think in terms of what we got losing him, I think it was fine. But I do agree with you that Cody Barton would have been better over Singleton, especially because of the defense that we're trying to run. It's going to be a lot. I'm hoping it's a lot of man coverage, and you want linebackers in there that can cover. And Cody Barton is definitely the better cover linebacker. He's not great, but he can cover. But I mean, it is what it is with that whole situation. I definitely thought Drew Sanders was going to be the guy. I mean, me and Utah had like a whole episode almost where we talked about Drew Sanders, and it's just really unfortunate what happened to him, man. But I definitely think Levelle Bailey is something there with him. I definitely like him getting more reps alongside Greenlaw. I mean, Levelle Bailey, bro, he's got potential. Like, I definitely think he's got potential. He's a good athlete, and for a linebacker in today's NFL, that kind of means everything, bro. You can fly around the field, you can cover those running backs, and definitely just be active from sideline to sideline, bro. I feel like he can be a good little comp piece with Greenlaw there, a guy that nobody really saw coming. Because I mean, he literally has the opportunity. It's right here. Like the second, like Drew Sanders hurt, Alex Singleton hurt. It's really his time. And yeah, man. And I got the full quote on what Sean Payton said about him. He said he's had a few good days, real good days. He looks like an NFL linebacker too. He said the Broncos spent an hour recruiting him after the 2024 draft. He said, I'm glad we stayed patient in that process with him and we were able to get him. To be honest with you, I just definitely think it reminds me of, like, you remember the Brandon Marshall situation? Kind of was on a practice squad for a while, and Peyton Manning saw what he could do. And it's like, hey, man, we need to play him a little bit more. And, next thing you know, we got ourselves another cornerstone linebacker. And I definitely think this is kind of where we're at. Like, I definitely see the similarities. Because alongside Greenlaw, if you can get a guy that's just like him in size, that can do somewhat similar things, like, I definitely like him under Greenlaw's wing. I will say that. Because I ain't gonna lie, last year in the preseason, he balled out, bro. He definitely balled out last year. And he balled out during camp. I remember he was getting a whole bunch of picks in camp last year. He got the pick six against the Cardinals in coverage. I could see it, bro. Especially if Drew Sanders, and Alex Singleton, they just not gonna come back, because I think Singleton's out for, I think, what they say, 4 to 6 weeks, because he got to have surgery. But he's gonna be out probably longer.
Singleton's going to be back by the. He's going to have surgery, and they're putting a club on his hand. He's going to be back by the 49ers joint practice.
Okay, so that's what that isn't that like week 2 of the preseason?
That's right before week
Oh,
one.
yeah, man. But yeah, you were all right because I forgot we do play the 49ers in the first game. I forgot about that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as the injuries and stuff go. I don't think I know Mike McGlinchey didn't practice a lot, but he ended up practicing anyway. I just think they're going real slow with him. Um, but as far as today went, they said RJ Harvey had some nice runs. Bo Nix scrambled. He was getting on a run a lot. Um, yeah, they did say the first team secondary made it difficult for some of the receivers to get separation. Um, yeah, and trying to see anything else that was key. Oh, they said Sutton beat Sertan on a dig and beat Riley Moss on a deep out. Um, yeah, Jonas Ellis had a sack today. Audric Estime had a standout day. Um, yeah, man. I mean, everything's looking good from camp, and I don't know if you saw it too as well, but everybody's been talking about Bo and just how much of a leap that he's gonna take. Pat, Mike McGlinchey, a lot of those guys have just been Hufunga as well. You saw Greenlaw talk about Bo. I mean, hey man, I don't look. I know everybody's been predicting this sophomore slump, but it's looking like everything is moving according to plan.
I agree, and I mean, the name you didn't say that's been the name of camp, and everybody wants to bring up Pat Bryant because he's the rookie, but people need to know that Troy Franklin is going to have a good year. I mean, the way
Yeah.
he has been balling, bro. Like the fact like he caught a jump ball today from I think either
Yes.
Stidham or Ellinger, bro. Like
Mm.
and Sean keeps talking about how
It was Ellinger.
Sean keeps talking about how like Troy is got that speed, he's got that burst, and if them hands work, it might be a rough day for the league if Troy and Bo get that Oregon connection back.
Yeah, I definitely think so, man. I think the biggest thing for me that I'm glad I'm not hearing anything about is the offensive line. That is the most important part of this offense. I mean, obviously outside of Bo, but I definitely think that's the most important part. J.K. Dobbins, he had an interview where he talked about the running back committee. I'm not gonna lie to you, just overall, as far as the way the offense has been looking, it's been sounding. It's looking like it's not anything to write home about. Like I don't think we're gonna have like a top 10 offense, whatever. But I definitely think there's improvement, especially Evan Ingram has been apparently killing it during camp, and I actually want to get into his comments in a few sec in a little bit. But I definitely think just the fact that the offensive line, I'm not hearing anything bad about them. I'm definitely comfortable because that was the downfall for the Texans, man, was the offensive line. And I mean, obviously injuries as well, but that's why CJ, everybody claimed he had a sophomore slump was because the line definitely took like 10 steps back. And I'm just glad, that we're not hearing none of that coming out of camp.
I agree, and I mean I actually seen a clip today where the O line looks like it's creating gaps and holes for the running back. I think somebody said on Twitter that the O line looked like they were moving on a bobsled because they were just shifting. Um, I don't think that it's something to run like you said to run home with, but I think it's going to be way better than what it was last year.
Yeah, like I think it's just gonna be more consistent. I think that there were times last year where Bo kind of had to put the offense on his back and single handedly go out there, and I definitely he's gonna have a lot more help. He's gonna have a lot more safety blankets, and I definitely think I'm not gonna say we saw the worst of Bo, but I definitely think like in terms of how he would start off those games, like those big games, kind of antsy, being a little bit too aggressive too early and stuff like that. I think we're gonna see way less than that because I think Dobbins and Harvey are about to kill. You got him a safety blanket tight end now. I still think we need to go get one more tight end, but we'll definitely see about that. But I ain't gonna lie, man. And as far as the whole thing goes, talking about some, I saw a lot of people were overreacting, talking about, this receiver unit not getting separation, bro. It's the best secondary in the league. You don't want to say they're the best secondary in the league. They're 100% top two with them in out of us in Baltimore, bro. But I mean, I'm not surprised they're not getting anything, bro. You got the Depoy, you got Riley Moss, the safety. I mean, the secondary is just crazy. I mean, and Chris Abrams-Drain apparently had a big practice today too. Shout out to him. I mean, bro, I ain't gonna lie. The Broncos Loki got too many corners, bro.
They got
Like
the
I don't know
deepest
what's
secondary, that's for
bro. It's
sure.
insane, dog. Like I didn't forget about Chris Abrams-Drain, but it's just like damn, like he's having killer days. Like I know he probably feels some type of way because he played great last year when he came in. I thought he played really well. I still wish we would have had him on Jerry Judy, but it's a whole nother discussion for another time. But don't know, man. Because what is he? Is he like cornerback 5?
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy, bro. Having him as your CB5 is actually crazy. But I mean, that means if guys go down, we got guys to come in and play. As long as I don't see 27 on the field, I'm fine.
I don't think he's going to make the team, but I also think that, and we've kind of heard Sean talk about, a lot of the corners are learning to play safety. So
Yeah, because yeah,
that's a huge thing. And I was thinking about this as well. Bringing up training camp, like I don't know if you've seen the clip of Todd Davis working with JL Skinner. Could we see them toss him in, maybe as just like a gadget play on and linebacker? I mean, he's a big guy. Like he can move. I wouldn't be mad at it for a couple downs. Toss him in there, see
mhm.
if you can do it at linebacker. Kind of give you that versatility there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I'm with anything, bro. Because I will say this defense is hungry, bro. That's one thing I will say. They got potential to be something really special. And I know the no fly zone has been talked about recently. A lot of people try to downplay that no fly zone defense, but I definitely think that the Broncos are hungry, and this is maybe some of the hungriest I've seen out of our. This is definitely the best. I will say this, it's really hard because I remember a few years ago our defensive roster looked really good when we had Justin Simmons, Pat, Bryce Callahan. Like our secondary looks really good, and Kareem Jackson. But this is like a whole nother level, bro. This is you got all pros and defensive player of the years, and you got some dogs. Like this defense is gonna be nasty, bro. And the thing is, like, if we can be even better than we were last year, and I feel like our defense was damn good last year. I think our defense was top 3, top 2. If we could be even better, bro, that's just like icing on the cake, bro. And I think they can, like, and it just seems like we know what the expectation is. And it's a perfect segue. Chase Daniels, I don't know if you saw what he said um today about. He said the Broncos need to have Super Bowl like on their mind. That the expectation in that building definitely has to be the Super Bowl. Like that you can go out there and win a Super Bowl. And I kind of want your thoughts on that because I made he tweeted the Broncos should have Super Bowl on their mind. And he a post came out with the Broncos saying the trajectory for me, it's never been higher. Um, what do you think about that comment he said? Because I mean, I got thoughts on it, but what do you think? Like, do you think the Broncos can actually go out there and maybe win a Super Bowl this season?
So I think that there's always that possibility, and Sean Payton, kind of talked about it, at in a presser, I think at training camp, they asked him what the expectation of the team was, and he basically said, we won 10 games and went to the playoffs last year. Our expectations are higher, and they asked him, was the Broncos, a complete team? He said the Broncos aren't done, building what we want to build here. And a lot of people I think took that as the Broncos are going to be a playoff contender. They might not push the Super Bowl, but I think when you really listen to what Sean said, and another thing is like what you brought up about Bo Nix. The best defense Bo Nix is going to play is going to be in practice.
That's fucking
It's
crazy.
not going to be in a regulated NFL game. It's going to be in practice. So I think that that gives them the edge. Of course, I don't want to, just jump the gun and be like, hey, Denver's going to the Super Bowl. But I'm going to be real with you. This is the best I felt about this team since the Super Bowl era. I
Yeah.
think they're going to compete. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to an AFC championship. But it really just depends. I think the biggest thing is health.
Yeah, that's the boy. You touched on it. I think the biggest thing for us is just staying healthy and seeing how far this team can go. I'm feeling more comfortable even when like we first got Russ and we knew what the expectation was. I feel way like this isn't how I feel about this team now. It just triumphs that like that feeling I had was that 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I mean, I'll be real, bro. From a roster standpoint, I don't think, man, this is the best our roster. Like I'm trying to, as an overall roster, probably the best we've had since like that Super Bowl team, for sure. Like in terms of top to bottom, I don't think they're more talented in that roster because that roster was pretty crazy. Like our receivers don't even come close. The receivers got now don't even come close to the guys we had back then. But definitely from a defensive standpoint, bro, it's up there. Like it's crazy. Like I haven't. And then you got Sean and his staff, bro, and it's just crazy to see what all they've been doing. Just how, like, if you really think about it, think about when Russ was here and how bad the organization was being like handled. You know what I'm saying? Even when John Elway was still the GM, like how you could tell things weren't going according, like the decisions were kind of questionable. You know what I'm saying? Like I just have never felt this good about the organization. Even back when we won a Super Bowl, I just never felt this good about like how our organization is being run and the outlook on our future, bro. Like, cause it's like we're trying to win now, but also building for the future in the same way. And it's just crazy. But as far as just the Super Bowl thing, I'm not gonna jump the gun on that just yet. I think we need a year with this team. Hell, even when we won the Super Bowl, we needed a year with that team. People forget we lost to the Colts the year before. We had to fire Jack Del Rio and bring in Wade Phillips. Like the defense was not being run properly, and that's something that you could even see this season. I'm not saying Vance is gonna do a bad job or anything like that, but I'm just saying there are always possibilities. You could have all the talent in the world, but the scheme's got to be right, and you never know. Like I definitely think we need a year with this team, and then we could talk about depending on how it goes, talk about okay, this team could be Super Bowl. But as far as this season goes, I don't know, man. You got some dogs in the AFC, Buffalo and Baltimore. I mean, goddamn, like those are like next level powerhouses, bro. But I definitely could see the team's mindset being like, bro, let's go get a Super Bowl.
No, I agree, and I think that a big factor is like we said, health, and I think that our coaching is top tier, the defense is top tier.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel good about it, bro. Like, yeah,
I do.
and it's like the best way I can put it is this is the first off season that I feel like us as Bronco fans are talking about the team, and it's not straight delusion. I mean, dude, let's be real. When we had Russ, we all lived in delusion. We all lived in delusion. We wanted to be good. We thought we were going to be good, and it was just delusion. What we're coming off of this last season, going into the 2025 season, I don't feel like we're living in a false reality or a delusional aspect of like a fandom. I feel like this team is the real deal. And if they have the best defense in football, all the offense has to do is score points. And if they score points,
And you ain't even got to be like number one offense, bro. We just need y'all to be like top 15, top 16. That's it.
I think it's going to be a good year, man. And like I said, I would love to see, the last time we won a Super Bowl was in Levi Stadium. And that's where the Super Bowl is in 2025. That would be a feel good story to see, Denver, when they return to Levi, win the chip again.
Yeah.
But I think we're a couple years away. I think
Yeah.
two, I think last year we made the playoffs. This year we need to win a playoff game, and then 2026 I think we're
Yeah.
talking
See,
more of
yeah.
like championship. Even if we make it to the title game and lose, I mean, yeah, that's a huge upgrade to getting bounced in the first round of Buffalo.
Yeah. And I definitely think we're really like one. I'm not gonna say one element away from me being just completely comfortable saying I think we're gonna get a chip this year. We need someone to step up in the receiver room before I can sit here and say that. And that's really the only thing that I think personally I have us like holding us back from that going that far. I need to see the receiver room, those young guys. Somebody got to take a jump. And I'm not gonna lie, hey, look, because we already know what Mims can do. We know what Sutton can do. We need that one. We just need one more guy, whether that be Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin. I don't care. Whoever it is, bro. If they could take that jump, I'm all here for the discourse, for the Super Bowl discourse.
You know
I'm
what's
all here for it.
crazy? And I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, I think Mims is going to have a good year, but something tells me, like, Devon Bailey. I just feel like, bro, like,
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
seems like
I
that,
feel you.
like Sutton is the guaranteed one after getting paid. And don't get me wrong, I think Mims is the two right now, but I think when we look at the totality of it, and you look at the build, you look at somebody that can be on the other side, that can win over the middle, win on the outside. I think that Vele could be wide receiver two in 2025.
Have to see. I definitely think it's a possibility, and I see where you coming from because I haven't heard his I haven't heard his name in a while, and I think that's a good thing. Cause Sean like to keep his secrets. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think
And we've not heard much of Marvin either. I think both. Here's what I think, and you might think I'm tripping. I think Sut goes for 1,000. I think Mims and Vele go for 700 each, and then I think Pat Bryant and Troy give you a good 500, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised, but I definitely think it's going to be a committee thing. I think Sean is definitely going to be in his bag with the play calling. Like, I think guys are going to get certain plays called for them throughout the game. Like, I think he's going to try to utilize pretty much everybody that, Pat Bryant, Franklin, Vele, Sutton, and Mims. But I think it's the last thing. If you got something else you want to talk about, we can. Um, Obviously, I had talked about the Bo Nix, Drew Brees thing. I mean, that kind of went out of control. Apparently, Sean Payton, he reported. It was funny too. That video, he was like, "No, see, I know, I reported that. I said it. It wasn't nobody reported. I said it. That shit was hilarious." But he basically said that that Bo Nix, spent about 4 to 5 days with Drew Brees going over film and stuff like that. And I think last year too, Peyton was working with him and Brees. I think there wasn't there a day when Peyton and Brees were both at the Broncos camp or something like that.
I think what I seen on Twitter was that he's worked out with Breeze, Peyton Manning, and Eli Manning, and then he's been training with a baseball player on like a Hall of Fame baseball player on workout technique. That way he doesn't get injured. Like you know how they throw the like
Yeah. Because
the
his
shoulder.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
remember people forgot he had to have that. Didn't he have to have back surgery? Or he had to some type of something procedure. What was it? Do you
uh,
remember?
I think it was. I don't know if it was a back surgery or not, but I know he had a broke backlash, a fractured back. But
Yeah,
he
that's
had
crazy.
some minor surgery. Yeah, but he's been training with a baseball player for technique, which is cool. And the Drew Brees thing. I mean, 5 days. I mean, you're going to learn a lot from Brees in 5 days in an offense that's led by Brees's coach. So
Yeah, and I just want to say, bro, Bo has all the tools right there for him, bro. He's got all of that, bro. You first of all, you're in Denver, so you already got Peyton Manning. Now you got Sean Payton. Now you got Drew Brees. I mean, he has everything at his disposal just to really just lock in, and that's why I think, I think a lot of people are still saying the jury's out on him. I mean, obviously, you got to see how he does in his sophomore year, but I think overall, bro, like going from it's not like we took a hit. We got nothing but better. And I definitely think him working with Breeze, I think that's just gonna just elevate his game and his confidence a lot more because the only thing I say he needs to work on really just to settle down a little bit. I think he just needs to settle down a little bit. And I think other than that, I think he was really solid for his last year. And I mean, bro, I just think just calm down a little bit. And I think the sky's the limit for him, bro, because like I said, bro, we got nothing, bro. We got better. We have a run game. And I think that itself is going to calm him down overall. Like, I think being able to run the ball efficiently, consistently, I think it's just going to be that's going to be pretty much all we need. Having a safety blanket, bro. Like, having, just giving more options. I think Troy Franklin's going to get more playing time. Pat Bryant, like, and the offensive line, that's the biggest thing. They can't take a step back, but I don't think they will though. Garrett Bowles looks like he's good. I'm a little worried about McGlinchey just a little bit because I think it's some. I don't know why he's not practicing that much. I know he's maybe dealing with something, but we'll definitely see by the time the season rolls around how that's looking. But I think overall, bro, that's just the main thing is can the line hold up like they did for him last year? And I think if they do that, bro, I don't see him just being realistic, not even biased. I don't really see how he can take a step back. Like I can see how people say, like maybe Jaden Daniels, but I don't even think so either because they improved his line. So I don't know if he'll take a step back. I can see maybe his weapons, but I think sophomore slumps don't happen unless the team around the guy goes to shit. Like Mac Jones, there's a lot of Mac Jones comparisons. Mac Jones, you're gonna take a step back when your offensive coordinator leaves and they hire their former defensive coordinator and they put him as the offensive coordinator. That type of shit is gonna stunt your growth. Like that's just common sense on why you shouldn't do no shit like that. I mean, that's why Bill Belichick got fired. I mean, it's just like, bro, what the hell was you thinking? But hey, man, we making good decisions, and he still got Sean too. That's the thing, and nobody's left. We still got the same coaching staff. So I don't really see this discourse of him taking a step back. I just don't personally.
I agree. And my argument every time is Denver is number one in the NFL for returning players at 86% this season. It's the first time,
That's crazy.
it's the first time that Denver has had a head coach and a quarterback
Quarterback, yeah.
return since 2014. with John Fox and Peyton Manning, which is absolutely insane. Um, I think Denver is in a window of success, and I think it's only going to get better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Um, you got anything that you want to talk about before we end it?
The last thing I'll say is, and I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about receivers, I think that the duo that everybody's sleeping on that's going to be an elite duo together is going to be Evan Ingram and Courtland Sutton. I think the compliment there is going to be crazy, and I do think Evan Ingram is going to have his best season in his NFL career.
Yeah, I mean, Angela, I wouldn't be surprised by it. I think that's all we got. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, I'm looking over my notes. Yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything. Um, yeah. Hey man, we got a game coming up soon. I'm still working on that hype video for you guys. I'm gonna have that out as soon as possible. I'm getting man, it's gonna be so nice. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, hit that sub button to keep showing us love, man. The season's right around the corner, bro. So we got a lot of episodes, and this is the first season we got. So me and Trav gonna come hard for you guys, man. Real talk. I'm excited. I know he's excited, man. I can't wait. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. I'm your host JMX, my other host Trav, man. Till the next one. Peace out.
Peace.